I'm less afraid of the death of newspapers than I am of newspapers committing suicide. You know, obviously they're suffering some circulation losses. Obviously the recession has had an impact on them. But what I'm nervous about is that newspapers are, in a sense, panicking about some of their economic challenges. And instead of really trying to, A, reinvest in journalism and do what they can do, and B, to differentiate themselves from what the other media do, it seems to me that they're all chasing the same thing. They're all trying to be like the internet, or they're all trying to do what television does. And I think that's a huge mistake, because you can't, you know, I'm not going to read a 50-word or 100-word story in the Gazette that I already heard on the radio this morning, or saw on the internet, or watched on television last night. That's a losing battle. You can't compete with that speed. I think where you can compete is to use your human resources, the news staff that you have, and that newsrooms in Montreal have really good people. Use them to create a really dynamic news product that's different from what people can get elsewhere. The people who most frequently go to the internet for news also are people who watch news on television and buy newspapers. And that would suggest to me that what those people are reading a newspaper for is to find something different. You know, maybe they've been flagged to a story by a Twitter post, but when they go to the Globe and Mail or the Gazette or La Presse, what they're looking for is some depth, detail, you know, more analysis on that particular subject. The problem with Canwest specifically, and by extension the Gazette, is they have $4 billion in debt, which is, you know, partly due to their newspaper acquisitions, but partly due to acquisitions of specialty channels and other things. So, you know, that's the challenge the Gazette faces. It's part of a larger company, and it's, by definition, saddled with the debt of that larger company. I think if it was a standalone property, it would do fine. In and of itself, the Gazette has a problem in that the community it serves, say the English-speaking community in Montreal, is pretty much static. And the other problem, I think, is Bill 101, is that many more Montrealers now, particularly that age group in which the Gazette would like to grow its readership, probably reads French as comfortably as they read English. Now, whether they prefer to read English or French, I don't know. But, you know, maybe they're just as happy reading La Presse or Le Journal de Montréal as they are the Gazette.